Finance Minister submitted budget papers in the Parliament on 1st February this year, calling it as the first budget of Amrit Kaal. We all know Amrit Kaal refers to the 25-year period from 75th year to 100 years after independence. Sometime in 2014, I think, the Prime Minister said while assuming office, let's focus on growth of the country, development aspects during the first 3-4 years, and let's keep politics for the last year. Something like that he said. Finance ministers followed that in letter and spirit, I believe. She has put in the budget proposal some features which points to the 2024 general elections. While saying so, I must be honest to say that the government has kept in mind the need for keeping the growth mission alive and active also. There are so many provisions in the budget papers. If one looks at it neutrally, one can find out that there are a lot of provisions keeping in mind the growth story. The budget proposal has been restructured, neatly structured. Part A has 7 priorities and Part B has the tax proposals. In Part A, the 7 priorities have been listed as inclusive development, reaching the last mile, infrastructure and investment, unleashing the potential, green growth, youth power and financial sector. Under each priority, number of provisions with substantial outlay has been mentioned as priorities, which really are impressive. Under inclusive development, digital public infrastructure for agriculture, Agriculture Accelerator Fund, enhancing productivity of cotton crop, cluster-based and value chain approach through public PPP, public-private partnership, Atmanirbhar Horticulture Clean Plan Program with an outlay of 2,200 crores, agriculture credit with a provision of about 20 lakh crore. All these have been provided under inclusive development. There is a mention about Sri Anna in under this priority, which I am going to discuss a little at length a little. Actually, this is one striking feature of the budget in my view, because millets, as we all know, are very nutri-rich food grain, which we all know. This is a Indian form of food for centuries. Now we have slowly switched to wheat and rice, but these millets have nutritional facts, and India is one of the largest, India is the largest producer of millets and second largest exporter of millets in the world. The Sri Anna is a phrase that includes all millets like ragi, jowar, etc. This global hub for millets, making India as a global hub for millets, is a great initiative by the government, really, in my view. Actually, many countries earn foreign exchange through sale of weapons to militants in other countries by sending drugs, by encouraging militants in other countries, by printing fake currencies of other countries, etc. But India is trying to create a hub for millets by providing more nutritional food to world community. So really I appreciate the way this has been thought to create India as a global hub for millets under the phrase Sri Anna. It's a great effort really. And under this first priority for fisheries sector, Prime Minister's Matsya Sampada Yojana with a targeted investment of 6,000 crore has been provided. The government proposes to create 157 nursing colleges co-locating with the existing medical colleges. This is really going to be a great thing in the health sector. And then there is a provision called Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission. This is also aiming at a particular area of health hazard. This is really an appreciable thing. Then medical research facilities in selected ICMR labs for research by public and private medical college faculty and private sector R&D teams are going to be set up. A new program to promote research and innovation in pharmaceuticals through centers of excellence. Dedicated multidisciplinary courses for medical devices. This is really amazing. See, medical devices, new medical devices are being introduced often. We need to have a dedicated team of people to take care of this. Medical devices is very important. The government has thought of it, and these courses are introduced with the objective of developing skilled manpower for futuristic medical technologies, high-end manufacturing and research. Then we have teachers training through innovative pedagogy, curriculum transaction, continuous professional development, etc. This is again going to provide improved quality in education. National Digital Library is proposed to be set up for enabling children and adolescents to reach to quality books in areas where it's not available. So these are all the provisions under first priority called inclusive development, and reaching the last mile is a priority which aims to provide facilities in the remote areas of the nation. Aspirational Districts program was launched some time ago, and based on the success of Aspirational Districts program, now Aspirational Blocks program covering 500 blocks has been launched recently. And then Pradhan Mantri PVTG, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, is PVTG. So Pradhan Mantri PVTG mission is proposed to be launched. This will saturate PVTG families and habitations with basic facilities such as safe housing, clean drinking water, sanitation, improved access to education, sustainable livelihood opportunities, etc. For this, an outlay of 15,000 crore will be made available. The government proposes to establish 750 Eklavya model residential schools in the next 3 years in the tribal areas, which will recruit 38,800 teachers and support staff to serve about 3.5 lakh tribal students. This is really an amazing provision in the budget, in my view, because the tribal area students will reach out to modern education through this effort. Then drought-prone region in the central region of Karnataka gets rupees 5,300 crores as central assistance for alleviating the water scarcity problem. Prime Minister Awas Yojana gets over rupees 79,000 crores this year. Then we have Bharat Shri. Bharat Shared Repository of Inscriptions will be set up in Digital Epigraphy Museum with the digitization of 1 lakh ancient inscriptions in the first stage. Actually, these inscriptions, we often heard about inscriptions which later in the media, and then we don't follow up it. But this kind of shared repository of inscriptions will help furthering efforts in these lines. There is a provision. This is really a surprisingly new provision. This is a provision for poor persons in the prisons. Poor persons in the prisons who are unable to pay penalty or bail amount will be provided financial assistance. This is something really great thought in my view. And then we have the priority infrastructure and investment. Under infrastructure and investment, the government has taken efforts to put the growth mission going by developing infrastructure. By actually the provisions under CAPEX, capital investment, is 10 lakh crore. Actually, it's 33% more than last year. The effective capital expenditure of Centre is estimated to be 13.7 lakh crore actually, which will be about 4.5% of GDP. See, this CAPEX provision of such a huge sum is going to create a lot of development in the infrastructure side. So the state governments are also encouraged to make a capital infrastructure development, and 50-year interest-free loan provided to the state governments for this purpose. The provision is already there. It's going to be continued for the next 1 year also. So this will create such a great impact on the infrastructure development in the country. The government proposes to set up a harmonized master list of infrastructure. Under capital infrastructure, railways will get an outlay of 2.40 lakh crore. This is such a massive provision so far, which has been given so far. And this will really going to help railways make much headway in terms of quality of transportation in the country. 100 critical transport infrastructure projects have been identified by the Union government for taking up on priority with an investment of 75,000 crore, including 15,000 crore through PPP. Actually, this 100 and critical transport infrastructure projects which I mentioned just now are in the form of approaches to ports, railheads, etc. This is going to help in overall growth of economy also. 50 additional airports, heliports, water aerodromes and advanced landing grounds will be revived for improving regional air connectivity. So, seeing this, we get a hope that such a massive improvement in infrastructure in the form of air, rail, water connectivity, etc., will definitely help in boosting the economy. Sustainable cities of tomorrow are proposed to be developed, making cities ready for municipal bonds. Urban Infrastructure Development Fund is created. Urban sanitization. This is one of the very strikingly good provision in the budget, in my view. Actually, all cities and towns in the nation will be enabled for 100% mechanical desludging of septic tanks and sewers. Actually, this is one of the areas where human intervention is considered to be avoidable, no? So, this is one of the nice provisions in the budget. Then unleashing the potential. Under the heading unleashing the potential, this is one of the priorities of the budget. Mission Karma Yogi, which aims to motivate and enable service personnel. This is going to be good for the nation. Then, for enhancing the ease of doing business in the country, more than 39,000 compliances have been reduced. Actually, we often talk about investors feeling bad about our Indian license Raj, that red tape and so on. No? So, more than 39,000 compliances have been reduced and more than 3,400 legal provisions have been recriminalized. Is a very, very, very encouraging information given in the budget, because ease of doing business is very important, critical to the growth of our economy. So, for furthering the trust-based governance, a bill called Jan Viswas Bill is stated to have been introduced to amount 42 more central acts also. So, all these efforts to improve ease of business is really good for the economy. Then there is a proposal to create national data governance policy. The KYC, when we go to a bank or something, no, KYC is often a cumbersome process, lengthy cumbersome process. The government proposes now to make it very simple, like it's going to be risk-based instead of one-size-fits-all approach. So, the simplification of KYC is one factor which attracts me. Then, one-stop solution for reconciliation and updating of identity and address of individuals. See, we often give our address and other data to various government agencies, but when we want to introduce a change in our address or something, some change in data or updating, we need to go to every place. That is going to be now eliminated. There's going to be one-stop solution for updating of identity and address of individuals in all government records through use of DigiLocker service and Aadhaar as foundational identity. This is really good. Then PAN card will be the common identifier for all digital systems of government agencies. So we need not to go and look for ID for different places and so many other so in different places different ID cards. Instead, a common identifier as for all digital systems will be really going to be good. Then unified filling process. This obviates the need for separate submission of same information again and again to different government agencies. We basic informations like our all data about our personal data as well as residential data, etc. we used to give, but we need not go and give this information to every agency wherever we go for some official business, some personal business, no? So, official or personal business. So, this is one of the nice provisions. Then there are two provisions now in the budget, Vivad Se Viswas 1 and 2. Under 1, during this COVID period, many MSMEs failed to execute contracts within the specified period for which some amount was forfeited from these the failed MSMEs. So 95% of the forfeited amount relating to bid or performance security is proposed to be refunded to them. This is good news for MSMEs who have foregone substantial money in the form of forfeiture. Vivad Se Viswas 2 relates to contractual disputes between government and government with the government and the government undertakings, where arbitrational award is under challenge in a court. A voluntary settlement through standardized terms can be reached under this Viswas 2, Vivad Se Viswas 2 provision. Actually, the government has been digitalizing many operations in the country. Following that, e-courts are being set up. So now the phase 3 of e-courts with an outlay of 7,000 crore is proposed to be carried out. This will enable clearing of cases in the courts. Then we have green growth, youth power. Under youth power, we have Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0 version. Then Skill India Digital Platform, National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, Tourism, Unity Mall, etc. Under financial under financial sector, we have credit guarantee for MSMEs, National Financial Information Registry, Data Embassy, improving governance and investment protection in banking sector, capacity building in securities market, central data processing center, digital payments, etc. So by and large, when we go through the budget paper, under the priority unleashing the potential, there is an important provision relating to artificial intelligence. Centers of excellence for artificial intelligence are proposed to be set up in the country in top educational institutions to make artificial intelligence in India and make artificial intelligence work for India. The phrase is make AI in India and make AI work for India. This is a good provision in the budget actually. Now we are thinking about artificial intelligence taking over every sphere of economical activity. This effort is going to bring in good benefits to the nation. The 2024 general elections are particularly that millets, global hub, India as a global hub of millets. These are provisions which will go a long way in the growth of the nation, as well as it provides a very nutritious food supplement. Not supplement. It's going to be the main food for the nation and the globe as well. Actually, the personal income tax proposals, which reduced the tax exemption up to 7 lakhs, is the provision which particularly striking to tell us that the government looks at the 2024 elections in mind. Actually, this a large chunk of people in the income range of 5 to 7 lakh will definitely be happy about this tax exemption, personal tax exemption, and definitely this is one of the provisions aiming at the general election, because this has been pending, the demand has been pending for so long. People have been asking for enhancing this limit in personal income tax, but this has been given now. But despite all that, we see a lot of very careful and innovative thinking aiming at improving the nation's economy has been introduced in the budget, which we should appreciate. No doubt whatsoever, we should appreciate. Thank you.